When my brother and I were kids, we made tons of flipbooks, and I've shown lots of my old flipbooks on my channel, but I have never before shown my brother's childhood flipbooks. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why, Andy? Why have you never shown us your brother's flipbooks? Are you trying to hog all the glory for yourself? Yes. No, actually, it's because we had no idea where they were or what became of them. Until now. That's right, but first, please enjoy this music while I talk. I made it myself. So, the other day, I was with my dad going through their storage unit, sorting through a bunch of boxes, and I came across one box with my brother's name on the side. How interesting. Inside that box was a bunch of random stuff and little thingamajigs and whoozy-whatsits, and a Ziploc bag full of flipbooks that my brother Robin had made when we were kids. I had not been looking for them, so it was a total surprise to find them. The problem is that this bag of flipbooks is a total and utter mess, kind of like our bedroom when we were growing up. And while quite a few of the flipbooks are still intact, like this one, many of them are completely mixed up, fallen apart, and totally out of order. There were even some loose pages outside the bag scattered in the box, but I gathered them all up. So I'm going to see if I can actually sort through this mess, figure out what order all these loose cards go in, and attempt to put all these flipbooks back together. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. Then I'm going to get on a video call with Robin, show him his old flipbooks, and see what he remembers about making them. It's probably safe to say that most of these flipbooks have not been looked at since the 90s. We used to use rubber bands to hold our flipbooks together, but as you can see, rubber bands do not withstand the test of time. This thing used to be a rubber band, but now it looks like a chewed up old leather boot noodle. I don't really know what a boot noodle is, but if there were such a thing, this would be it. So this one, it just looks like we're missing the beginning of it, but the rest of it is still intact. This was probably around the time of Back to the Future 2, because we were both really interested in the idea of flying cars. As you can see, lots of the flipbooks we made back then were on the backs of business cards. We once found a whole pile of business cards that someone had thrown away, and we decided they would be perfect for making flipbooks. By the way, if you want to make your own flipbooks with the best flipbook paper and the best light pad, you cannot do any better than one of my Andymation flipbook kits, which you can get right now at andymation.com or search Andymation on Amazon. One thing I found mixed in with this bag of flipbooks is this old gobstopper wrapper. Let's see if we can find a date on it. Says right there, 1992 is at least when this wrapper is from. So most of the flipbooks were probably made a year or two before that, but this wrapper tells me it might have been 1992 when they were all put in this bag. Did you know that these are most of Uncle Robin's flipbooks?
Yeah. Dad, if I do this and then really fast look away, I can see myself looking at myself because
there's a delay, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, go play. I'm going to be out in a few minutes.
What I was going to tell you is Ron told me to tell you that the rice is ready.
The rice is ready?
Yes.
Well, before I go eat rice, I think I should tell you a little bit about my brother Robin. He is 2 years younger than me, and we did tons of stuff together as we grew up. He became fascinated with electronics and robotics when he was young. He made all sorts of cool stuff that he figured out on his own from reading books. There were, no monthly engineering kits back then, no YouTube videos. He had the library, Radio Shack, and a soldering iron. And with that, he figured out on his own how to make stuff like this, a handmade little robot that would follow a flashlight wherever you shine it. We just thought that was the coolest thing.
That's awesome. It's like a bug. It's like a moth.
Eventually, Robin grew up to become an electrical engineer, and he gets to work on really sophisticated engineering projects related to radar systems. I, on the other hand, grew up and pursued filmmaking and animation. We took two totally different paths requiring different skills and different interests. For example, Robin is really good at calculus. I am not. But growing up together, we explored a lot of the same things. We made videos and movies together.
I invented a time machine! Time machine! Time machine!
Flipbooks were one of those things that Robin and I were both interested in at the same time. So for me, part of the nostalgia I have around making flipbooks, well, Robin is a big part of those memories. And that is a big reason why I'm excited to see if I can get all these flipbooks back in order, reassembled, and then see what Robin remembers about making them. Of all of his flipbooks, this is the only one that actually had page numbers. All of the others I have to figure out based on what the animation looks like and trying to match up similar drawings. I just realized something. I told my brother that I found a bag of his flipbooks in the storage unit, sent him a picture. He could probably see that they were a total mess and all out of order. And he said, hey, you should take them and do something with them. Probably knowing that I would be willing to take the time to see if I could put them all back in order to make a video about them. So he didn't have to do it. So here I am doing my brother's work for him. Clever, Robin. Very clever.
2,000 years later.
Okay, that is all the flipbooks as back in order as I could get them.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Robin. Hey, I got your flipbooks all back together. Okay, I'm already recording, but I'm gonna switch cameras here.
Okay, so those are all mine there. That's...
Yeah, there was kind of a mess of, like so many of them were just like a pile of cards, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and when I go through and look at the cards, like I see the different paper types. I can't remember where some of these came from. I know that the white smaller ones with like the red edge, those came from that small grocery store near Granny and Grandpa's house when we were out there.
Yeah.
I remember drawing those out there. The paper's a little bit thinner.
Uh-huh.
And then we've got, of course, some of the business cards.
Here's...
So
that one was like really
okay.
short.
So that was like, it's like every frame, it's like 10 frames long, and it's a new thing that's morphing. It's like there's no... It's if you miss a frame, you've missed an entire generation of a vehicle.
Yeah.
But I like the evolution of there from like something like, I don't know if it looks like some sort of like push cart to like a bicycle, motorcycle, and then like a car, then a hover car, and then there's like UFO wedge, right?
Uh-huh.
And then a teepee.
Then a teepee, like to go.
I think at that point, like once you've reached, flying wedge anti-gravity device, you just realize, happiness is just really just, it's teepee. It's that's the pinnacle. They had it figured out.
I'm assuming though that when you started, you weren't thinking, how can I morph this guy into a teepee?
It's like, where do I go from? Yeah, exactly.
This one's short, but I really like this one.
I do not. I do not remember that one.
You don't, and see, there's a. Well, I mean, the clock it counts down, and then there's a boom at the bottom, and so like as you watch the hand go down when it hits boom.
That is.
But like this is definitely your style of explosion.
Oh yeah. I have the same penmanship today.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
This one kind of looks like we might be missing the first part of it. I don't know, but.
Yeah, there are a few of these that went together, and that car that just looks like a half circle car.
Yeah.
That was like my go-to one, and it would always transform from a normal car to it could be anything. Like here, it's a helicopter.
Uh-huh.
I think on some others it was even like a hover vehicle. Yeah. And one thing I'm kind of thinking here too is that with the whole idea of like a flying car with like the wheels being tilted down like that, that's Back to the Future too.
Yeah.
Huge influence, yeah.
But here's another one with that. See, this one I'm like, I think are we missing something, or was this just, that's how short it was? This one's pretty cool.
That's probably one of my better ones, honestly, just because you actually have all the frames it needs to have, and
yeah. I actually wasn't totally sure if the end part went at the end of this one, but it seemed like it would because it's kind of a longer one. It's like a firework.
And he kicks it away. Lights another one. Kicks it away.
Oh yeah, and there's one on the other side. This one you numbered the pages, so this one was really nice to put together. Or oh no, you didn't number the pages. Oh, this was sections. See, it's like two of the notebooks. And so you numbered
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, like number one, and then Number 2. Do you remember? Do you seeing this? Do you remember this? Or
I don't. I mean, the only thing that I can think of with like the cutting down the tree, there was a time, and again, this is going back to when we were drawing these at Granny and Grandpa's house, that I had gone out to Grandpa's garden, and I had gotten an axe, and I just had a hankering to like cut down like a little tree or something, and there was the one kind of growing on the edge of the garden there. And I just like cut the tree down as a kid, and when it fell, I remember like it about went to the barn. It was about like on the ground it's like 40 feet or so. It's it's way bigger laying down on the ground. But yeah, that was my first experience just cutting down a tree without asking anyone. So I'm wondering if that's yeah. I just like I went out back with a giant wood axe and I just cut the tree. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that was my inspiration here, or maybe it was a premeditated crime. I don't know.
Did Grandpa say anything about that? Because he used to get mad at us for pulling carrots out of the garden.
Oh yeah, he's. What are you boys doing? Nothing. It's always nothing. Yeah, I remember one time with the carrots we'd gone out, and we had like a 5-gallon bucket, and we had probably just about filled the thing.
They were all
little tiny, like baby carrots. And so not only did we like pull them way too soon, but like we probably pulled most all of them, and I'm sure we didn't eat like more than a couple of them.
I don't.
So
there wasn't even a thought. It wasn't like I wonder if Grandpa would let us pull these out. It was just there's carrots. Let's dig them up.
Holy eureka! I've discovered a carrot mine.
This one's cool because this has like full background. And the whole, like, the morphing thing was, like, a big thing.
I mean, I definitely remember drawing that vehicle. I do remember, like, the satellite dish type thing. And I can remember that time I was always drawing these, like, wedge-shaped, super fast cars, things like that. I remember one time in 2nd grade, I had a contest with a kid named Eddie on who could draw the fastest car, right? So, like how do you
measure that?
How do you prove which one's faster, right? But anyway, But that reminds me of the drawing style I do back in 2nd grade.
Let's see. What I think is funny about this one is that, like, what's funny is it looks like the ball is rotating in the opposite direction than the feet.
The wrong way.
It's like,
yeah.
I don't know how you're doing that. But
he's like moonwalking it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we must be missing... Oh, there's more on that back of that one. And here you're, like, maximizing the real estate.
Exactly, yep.
I'm assuming that's, like, a trampoline. And this paper is weird, because it's cards, but it's got the printer edge. And it's actually perforated. So it's as if this was meant to be business cards that you could print on an old dot matrix printer or something.
It was always funny our different sources we used for paper, because like you couldn't use like normal just notebook paper, didn't work, so we're always looking for something thick. So like business cards or like we would really scrounge. We would really scrounge for flipbook paper.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one is. I do remember at the time just kind of figuring out how to draw stickmen.
Oh yeah.
How to draw people. And so that bending at the knees action, that probably took some figuring out on my part to figure out how to do that.
This one I thought was so cool.
Oh, this one's got a biplane or an airplane. Okay.
Yeah. And then he just starts cursing. But the way the plane rotates, I thought was like kind of sophisticated. I don't know.
Yeah. And I do feel like, I've never been like the best artist or anything like that, but I always felt like I've had really good like 3D perception, and I've always been able to draw things in perspective fairly well.
This one, so this one I was thinking, it looks like you were older. I guess I'm not sure.
Okay, what does it say on it?
Quick getaway.
Quick, I know that the Q is going If the leg's on the wrong side,
Oh,
for
the
the
cue's
quick.
backwards. Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yep. That's absolutely me right there. So one thing I think about, like looking at this one, I remember being a little kid and really liking the movie Condor Man.
Oh, yeah.
And the one kind of scene from that is there's the part where they're driving kind of the jalopy type wagon, and they're being pursued by the Porsches, and then he hits some button and they kind of go down in their seats, and then like his super fast car like comes out of this like fake shell.
Yeah.
But I always kind of wonder, like, when I see these, just like that idea of a vehicle transforming or things like that. I think for a lot of this, it reminds me of Condor Man.
Fantastic.
This is, I don't know what is going on here. It's very short.
Don't drink from the hose. I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's
that's probably what it is. Smaller vehicle this time, yeah. Okay, so that's got to be a sled. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now did I
cool.
go through just like animate the sled and never went back and like?
Yeah, you're like, I'll add the people
kids
later.
Yeah, I'm gonna work out the physics of this first. Yeah. Of course, you have the Wile E. Coyote cartoon outline of yourself in a wall. Yep.
Wait, is that the idea? It's like,
yeah.
Oh,
like
I thought
here's
was,
the hole. Here's.
I thought he was
like profile.
I thought it was like he hit the wall, but then he turned it into a door. Okay, but no, you're saying like he slams through it, and then he's turning it to reveal his whole, his body-shaped hole.
I'm like, well, I've got to show it to my audience, so my character's gonna gonna turn it, show it to everyone. Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Man, I do not remember that one.
This one is very, very short.
Circle of Life. Yep. Of course, you have to have the tank turret on it as well, because if you're gonna have a flying car, you need to have a turret on it.
Yeah. I couldn't quite figure out the order of this one, or if there's stuff missing. But like, there's like
it is a washing machine, I think, right?
Or a dryer, or a front load washing machine.
Yes,
but there's a dog,
yep.
and then the dog's in it. But then it's just like spinning, and then it looks like, I don't know, you gave up. You must have been called into dinner or something.
This is ADD in action. Just like, well, the dopamine's gone. I'm done.
It's 2 stories in one.
So it's like, what's the story? Well, a guy gets hit by a car, then he gets into another car and goes off a jump. Like,
yes.
Oh, okay. So on this one, I have 3 different flipbooks, but like, you have an interaction between 2 of them, right? So like the one
guy's falling through the flipbook down into the other animation.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know what's going on with the top frame at all. So, some with his arms.
Looks
I have
like
no idea.
You got kind of excited about the idea of the bottom 2 interacting with each other, and then the top one was just like, he's just standing there. Oh, and this guy on
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my...
This one we must be missing something at the beginning, but...
Oh, that one's pretty cool. I love...
It is cool, yeah.
I love how it transforms it. It kind of like pop out and then...
Yeah, it's like it sort of pops down and then back up, which is really cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
So, I mean, you can tell in these, like, I'm taking it a frame at a time. Like, I'm not thinking of like some big story. It's literally just like, okay, what happens next? What happens next?
It's like stream of consciousness. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. This one's kind of funny. And he ends up with his torso like.
Oh, he's short.
It out.
Yeah, that. That's the kind of cartoons we were raised on. Is the whole And then we had our neighbor Bill. We have some of his business cards.
Yeah,
he did real estate or something.
I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, a realtor. Like, I know what that is now.
Yeah.
I don't think I really understood back then. As soon as it's bang, not bong.
Bang, bang. I'm like, what sound was that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And last one. Let's see.
Boy, that one. Man, it like judging on that one with like the paper and everything like that. I'm like, this one feels like it would be really early, but one of the only really memories I have of making flipbooks is there, at Granny and Grandpa's house.
I love that story. I think that's so funny that you just chopped down that tree just without even asking.
Yeah, I never asked, and then when it fell like into the garden area, I was just like, it just like it doubled in my perceived size of it. Like I thought it was going to be like, 10 or 15 feet, not huge, not in the way. And when it fell, like I think it stayed there for about a year. I think we ended up like, because we kind of made like a fort out of the tree. Yeah, and I think later on a bunch of it got hauled off in the truck to the dump. So it's like it wasn't some small. Yeah, I can't believe that I ever did that.